Motorcycle rider, pull forward until I tell you to stop.
To the average citizen, one of the most visible law enforcement activities is the vehicle stop.
Turn your engine off and step to the curb.
They see something like this happen every day. An officer puts on his emergency lights, follows the driver to the curb, gives him a ticket, and sends him on his way.
Hey, Leon, let me give you a call back.
On a rare occasion, the citizen might hear or see something like this. And from his description, it just looks like officers pulled some guy over and arrested him. In both cases, it's what the citizen doesn't see that this program is all about. Because few citizens realize that every move you make during a vehicle stop, whether high risk or low risk, is part of a tactic to help you survive. Many officers fail to realize that every tactic you employ has been developed to avoid the mistakes of officers who forgot the basics, or who assumed that all misdemeanor stops are low-risk stops. Recently, in one state, it happened just like this.
Her last name is Singleton, S-I-N-G-L-E-T-O-N. First is Ronald.
Deputy, hold it just a second.
In another part of the country, it happened this way.
Pull it over! Pull it over!
And numerous times, it's happened like this. In another state, the officer had at least made it to the driver's door, but no further.
See your driver's license, please?
In yet another state, a witness said there was an argument.
This your vehicle?
Yeah,
You have registration for it?
I don't have anything on it.
How long ago did you buy the vehicle?
3 or 4 months ago.
You step back here, I'd like to talk.
Sure.
And in this incident, there was no argument, just a hidden passenger. Statistically, it breaks down like this. 7% of officers killed on vehicle stops were in a moving vehicle and were shot through the windshield, an open window, or the body of their car. 28% were killed after the stop, but before getting out. 22% died while approaching the violator. And 43% were killed while talking to the violator. The point, of course, is that with each step in a vehicle stop, your life is in potential danger, and at no time can you forget it. Now, it's true that officers and departments vary in their approach to vehicle stops. So the purpose here is to analyze different vehicle stop tactics, so you can be sure in your mind that what you're doing is really survival-oriented.
You dumb shit, you just blew a stop sign. So what?
Even though a citizen may wonder why you keep following an obvious violator, you know the need to plan your stop and assess the situation first. There's a lot to think about. You have to be sure in your own mind what you observed and what specific action you will take. That's why your records check starts right now.
Unit 130.
130, go ahead.
At night, most officers agree that it's best to aim your spotlights at the violator's rearview mirror. This illuminates the interior and makes it harder for the violator to see your exact position. Your high beams also aid in blinding the occupants. At the same time, you want to avoid stopping in the middle of intersections, with this result. You should also avoid stopping on hills, curves, or blind corners.
Unit 130, northbound Redwood from Dexter. Request NCIC and local on a green 70 Chevy two-door, California license, 924 Adam Union Nora. 5 male occupants. Roll me a backup.
As you plan your stop, it's important to initiate communications before you activate your lights.
Unit 129, moving in the area system.
You should write the violator's license number on a pad to leave evidence of who you stopped in case of trouble. Another important survival tactic as you plan your stop location is this rule. From the moment you decide to stop a vehicle until it leaves the scene, watch the occupants. Any tactic which breaks this rule is a bad tactic. A safe distance for following behind is 3 to 5 car lengths. Even before you signal a stop with your emergency lights, you're looking for the unusual. Unusual driving behavior, unusual movement inside, or something like this.
Unit 130.
Unit 130.
Unit 130, negative once, NCIC and local on California.
Most of the time, of course, you have no reason to be overly suspicious.
Unit 130, copy.
However,
Making the stop.
remember
On
that most officers who die on vehicle stops die making low-risk stops.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes emergency lights won't be enough to gain the violator's attention. From this point on in a low-risk stop, there's a lot of tactical options you must choose from in advance. For example, where you park in relation to the violator's vehicle is crucial. For maximum safety, most officers offset their patrol cars 3 feet into the traffic lane and 15 feet behind the violator's vehicle. This position provides an effective view of the violator, a zone of safety from oncoming traffic, and less chance of being suddenly backed into by parking too close. You'll want to pause for a moment to observe the violator. Leave your engine running and turn your front wheels to the left. This may provide limited cover against low ricocheting rounds.
Driver, please turn off your engine.
As you prepare to exit, maintain a constant visual on the occupants. Your microphone is placed outside for easy access later. The rule is to establish control of the violator before you exit.
Please step back into your vehicle. Step back into your
If the
vehicle
violator
now.
does exit shooting, you now have far better cover than if you were standing behind the door or out in the open. A degree of concealment can be maintained with your high beams and spotlight.
Please step back into your vehicle.
For maximum safety, you want the violator to remain inside, not outside uncontrolled.
Now.
But I didn't do anything wrong.
Do it now. Ma'am,
It'll only
step
take
back
a
into your
minute.
car immediately.
Now when you actually do approach, the violator has no idea what's going through your mind. As you anticipate danger, unsnap your holster and approach so the violator won't be focused on your sidearm. But whatever you're walking up to, the common approach as the driver officer is from your left front door to the violator's left front door. In a two-officer vehicle, the passenger officer usually remains at his door during initial contact. He can offer another view of movement inside the violator's vehicle. Only one officer moves at a time.
Driver of the van, turn your engine off.
If you were alone and suspicious of a violator who you've stopped at night, do the unexpected. First, make the driver think you have a partner.
Stay with the radio partner. I'll cover him. I'll be right with you.
Then approach the passenger side of the violator's vehicle from behind your patrol car. This tactic is more effective than walking between vehicles, which gives away your direction of travel. As you approach, be aware of the need to control your spotlight to avoid silhouetting yourself. Or in a two-officer vehicle, have the passenger officer make the initial contact on the passenger side while you maintain a visual on the violator. Either way, have a checklist for your approach every time. Check the rear license plate for possible tampering. Check to see if the trunk lock is present. Next, check the trunk lid to make sure that it's not partially ajar. Check the rear seat and floor for anything unusual, like a shotgun rolled in a blanket. If it's a van, watch for movement and listen for sounds inside. Check the rear door to make sure it's locked. And use your non-gun hand to again determine movement inside. All along, your attention is focused on the side doors or someone who might try to quickly exit. In every case, what's most important on the approach is the ability to observe the violator's hands and the interior.
Good afternoon. Could you put both hands on the steering wheel, please? Please give me your driver's license with your left hand, please. Leave your right hand on the steering wheel.
While you wait, maintain a close visual on the violator's hands and anticipate the unexpected. It's also important that the violator reach outside with the right hand to give you the license. Also make sure you reach for it with your non-gun hand.
Okay, please keep both
In
hands
most
on the steering
cases,
wheel.
you'll want to stand here and never in front of the door.
See a driver's license, sir? Sure.
By positioning yourself to the rear of the center doorpost, you reduce the driver's ability to observe or assault you.
Good evening. Keep both your hands on the steering wheel, please.
In stopping a pickup,
Driver?
your position will provide a visual on both the driver and other occupants.
Your vehicle.
Where there are occupants in the back seat, you'll want to stand here.
You want to step out on the car, please? Come back to the curb with me.
You know that citizens often react to being stopped with emotion rather than reason. You've probably heard your share of wild explanations for a violation.
What do you want? I'm late for work.
Would you please give me your license and registration, please?
What if I don't have one?
Then you'll be placed under arrest. Just a minute. With your left hand, why don't you put your purse in your lap and open it up and take your billfold out, please?
To reduce emotion, you have to control your own emotions. Remain calm and be courteous.
There.
Would you take the license out of your billfold, please?
What for?
Would you take your license out of the billfold, please? I don't like to handle
You can
people's
see it
billfold.
fine right there.
Ma'am, would you take the license out of the billfold, please?
It's best to let the violator know the reason for the stop and exactly what action you intend to take.
Yes, ma'am. The reason I pulled you over, you ran the stop sign.
I don't want to
at
hear
first.
about it. Just get it over with, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Wait here, please.
If you have to stand with the violator, you want to stay a minimum of 3 feet away, with your non-gun side closest to the violator.
Give me your driver's license, please.
What'd you stop me for?
I stopped you because you ran a stop sign at Redwood and Dexter.
Stand where you can maintain surveillance of the violator's vehicle and occupants.
I just got some gasoline. I think I might have left it on the front seat of the car.
Then let's go back and get it.
Now, this person is going to get a citation. And so is this one. It's going to take time and concentration. So where is the safest place to write it while still keeping an eye on the violator?
Hurry up!
Again, there are options to consider. You're vulnerable if you do it here, here, and here, because you no longer can maintain a protected visual on the violator. For maximum protection and maximum observation of the violator and his vehicle, consider the front passenger seat. Also consider behind the right rear fender. From here you have good cover and a visual between the light bar and the roof. Most officers agree that when you return to the violator, it's a good idea to again observe the vehicle for anything suspicious or for changes that may have occurred.
What I've done is cited you to appear in municipal court for the violation.
When the stop has been completed, wait until the driver safely re-enters traffic. Then re-snap your holster as you move back to your patrol car. Remember to turn off your lights before you re-enter traffic. From here, the officer also remembered to walk back with the violator, but forgot that sometimes the violator's actions are planned as a distraction.
What are you stopping us for, kid? Special next week off. Kick your ass. Come on, son. Come on. Come on. Get back in the car. Get back in the car.
At every point in a low-risk stop, there is potential danger. And that's part of the problem, isn't it? For a simple violation, most citizens only expect courtesy and the chance to explain themselves, which means that the tactics you employ to protect yourself must be subtle and low-key. And that means you're always slightly vulnerable. It also means you'd better examine every move you make during a low-risk stop to make sure you do everything possible to reduce that vulnerability.
Unit 130. I've been shot. Green Chevy.
All units, emergency traffic only. Officer down, shots
The
fired.
officer in this incident did survive.
129, respond, code 3. All units.
Another officer eventually caught up with the ones who had shot him. However, when he pulled the suspects over this time, high-risk tactics were employed. Even though many departments use different tactics on high-risk stops, the first rule is maintain control. Control of the suspects, control of yourself, and control of your vehicle. For example, in one incident, the officer hadn't controlled the suspects before his backup arrived. He could have issued immediate verbal commands,
Get back in your car. Get back in your car.
then exited the kill zone.
Control Paul 1. Roll me it back. Get back in your car right now. Stop. Turn around. Get back in your car. I'm not going to say it again.
Occupants of the vehicle, raise your hands. Place them behind your heads
In another incident, commands were given. However, both officers failed to control their actions. Remember the second rule on any high-risk stop. Never approach an occupied vehicle. Well, what do you do? Again, every department is a little different. But you start by obeying the third rule.
Unit 115.
Use teamwork.
Unit 115, go ahead.
Roll me a backup following a vehicle involved earlier this date, an attempt murder of a police officer, be a 1970 light green Chevy Nova two-door, California license 924, Adam Union Nora, presently proceeding southbound Orange from 3rd.
Control to all units, emergency traffic only. Unit 116, move in the area to assist.
Unit 116, copy.
Wait for your backup. Wait regardless of how long it takes.
4 subjects.
Unit 115, still southbound Orange, passing 7th.
Unit 116 to Unit 115, I'm right behind you.
Prior to making the stop, you and the first backup officer should unlock the passenger door for other backup officers. The high-risk stop location is crucial. You want to minimize the suspect's opportunities for escape.
Unit 116, they're turning westbound on 10th. Let's take them on 10th.
10-4.
The parking position we'll focus on here provides the best observation of and protection
116,
from
I'm right
the
behind you.
suspect
I'll move up
vehicle.
on your left.
Your primary unit is positioned 30 to 40 feet directly behind the violator. The first backup parks parallel and close enough for passage between the two inside doors when opened. Once in position, verbal commands are delivered by the officer with the best observation point, usually the driver of the primary unit.
Everyone in the vehicle, put your hands up. Release your fingers down behind your head. Driver, moving only your left hand. Slowly go down the window.
It's already down.
Driver, with your left hand, turn off the engine and remove the keys from the ignition.
Don't do it. You got to, man. You're serious. We just killed a cop. They're gonna
Piss
blow
on
us
that
up.
cop. You do that, man. We ain't getting away. Don't do it.
They're gonna blow us up.
Hey, oh.
Driver, extend your left arm out the window, holding the keys in your hand. Throw the keys back towards my voice. Driver, put your left hand back behind your head and tightly interlace your fingers. Don't anybody move.
Initial commands establish immediate yet limited control of the suspects and their vehicle.
Unit 115.
Control Unit 115, go ahead.
I need 2 more officers for the stop. Have them approach southbound Orange, 210. I also need 2 units for traffic control. One at 10th and Main, have them approach northbound Main. The other at 10th and Market, have them approach northbound Market.
Unit 115, 10-4, stand by. Unit 137.
Unit 137.
137, confirming you're a 2-man unit this date. That's affirmative. 10-4, assist Unit 115, high-risk traffic stop on 10th, west of Orange. Approach southbound Orange from University.
Unit 137, copy. Okay, why don't you grab our shotgun and take a position at the passenger door of the primary unit. I'll take the search and arrest position at the passenger door of the secondary unit. Why don't you let me have your handcuffs?
Unit 124. 124. 124, assume a traffic control position at 10th and Main. Approach northbound Main 210. 124, copy.
If we have a traffic problem when we get there, I'll assume temporary traffic control.
Unit 125. Unit 125. 125, assume a traffic control position at 10th and Market.
Unit 115.
Control, Unit 115, go ahead.
I also need a unit with a forward observer armed with a shotgun. Have him approach southbound Orange, south of 10th. Have him assume a position at the northeast corner of the courthouse.
Unit 115, 10-4, stand by. Unit 118.
Unit 118.
118, Unit 115, requesting a forward observer with a shotgun, 10th and Orange.
Unit 137 in position.
Control, copy 137.
As the arrest and search officer makes his approach, his immediate goal is to secure the handcuffs from the driver officer in the first backup unit and the handcuffs from the primary officer. The initial response involves 4 officers, the 2 inside officers armed with handguns and the 2 outside officers armed with shotguns.
The hell is he doing back there?
Unit 118, I'm in position.
A critical tactic on any high-risk stop is the deployment of an additional backup officer as a forward observer.
Unit 118 to Unit 115 in position, northeast corner of the courthouse building.
10-4, Unit 115 to Unit 118. Work your way up to that block wall adjacent to the suspect vehicle, just on the south side of 10th. When you get in position there, advise me. Tell me what you can observe.
By quietly flanking out to a position of cover, the forward observer can provide constant surveillance of the suspects from an angle which cannot be seen by other officers.
Unit 118 to Unit 115 in position. I have a visual on the suspect vehicle and occupants.
10-4.
As you use time to slow everything down, your command presence is reinforced with an understandable series of instructions.
This is the Riverside Police Department. You are all under arrest. You are considered armed and dangerous. Any movement by you, not ordered, or command not followed, will be considered an act of aggression against us. You will be given a certain set of commands. You will follow the commands exactly. Your movements will be slow and deliberate. When you hear the word halt, you will stop all movement immediately. Do not move until you hear the words, "Do it now." Driver, moving only your left hand. Extend your arm out the window and unlatch the door.
Don't, man.
We've got about 3 or 4 of them.
Driver, unlatch the door. Do it now.
Don't do it. Piss on him. Don't.
Driver, push the door open with your left foot. Do it now.
Oh, man. You leave, that's it.
Extend your right hand outside the door, keeping your fingers spread apart. Do it now. Driver, very slowly step outside the door, facing away from my voice. Do it now. Take 2 steps to your left. Do it now. Driver, with your right foot, push the door shut. Do it now. Driver, on my command, you will make a complete circle to your left, keeping your hands as high as you can. Do it now.
This tactic allows you to make a visual check for any firearms which may be hidden in the occupant's waistband.
Driver, interlace your fingers behind your head. Do it now. Driver,
maintaining the advantage in a high-risk stop is bringing out each occupant with maximum control. All occupants exit on the driver's side, with the driver first. Often the driver is also the leader, and his exit weakens the unity of the other occupants.
Driver, take one step to your right. Do it now. Start backing towards my voice. Do it now.
Each occupant is removed, handcuffed, and secured, one at a time. Your goal is control, and you lose control when more than one occupant is outside the vehicle at the same time.
Let your fingers tight.
Each occupant is commanded to assume the kneeling position for search and arrest. Both steps are accomplished slightly ahead of the two inside doors. This position also allows the primary officer to provide cover for the arrest and search officer should violent resistance occur.
Cross your feet again.
At the same time, the three other officers positioned inside the inner perimeter maintain a constant visual on the remaining occupants.
Up on your left knee.
Before securing the driver in the first backup unit, you will want to gather intelligence on the remaining occupants.
Who has the guns in the car?
How many guns in the car?
About the person hiding.
Nobody hiding in the car.
Driver is secured in the first backup unit before removing the next occupant from the suspect vehicle.
You and I are going to go back up there. I want you present while we search the car. Understand? In here.
Passenger in the front seat. Keeping your fingers interlaced behind your head. Slide over to the driver's seat. Do it now.
Don't listen to her. Don't go, man. Come on. Oh, man, what a pussy. I don't want to die. Man, I'm telling you, don't go.
Passenger in the front seat. Slowly, pulling only your left hand. Extend your arm out the window and unlatch the door. Do it now. Take 2 steps to your left. Do it now. With your right foot, push the door shut. Do it now. On my command, I want you to make a complete turn to your left, keeping your hands as high as you can. Do it now. Higher. Faster, I want you to interlace your fingers behind your head. Do it now.
After all occupants are brought out and secured in alternating patrol cars, there is one last important step: the approach to the suspect vehicle for searching the trunk and the interior. The rule is to approach the vehicle only after you're certain there are no occupants. And that's exactly what this officer assumed. And watch what happened.
Occupant in the car. We know you're in there. Sit up and interlace your fingers behind your head.
The first tactic is the repeated use of verbal commands from behind cover. Hidden suspects will often react at this point. Movement alone to the suspect vehicle gives up cover and concealment, therefore control. Another option is making the approach with the cooperation of the driver. Without cooperation, you infringe on his rights as a prisoner. This tactic also discourages any accusations later about articles missing from the vehicle.
I'm not going any farther. I'm not going any farther!
Make your moves with the right hand holding the driver's waistband and handcuffs. Your left hand holds his clothing to prevent his springing loose.
Unit 118 to 115, I have movement in the vehicle. I got some movement in the vehicle. Stand by one.
Occupant in the car. We know you're in there. Sit up and interlace your fingers behind your head.
Would you make an approach now? As you make your decision, remember the ultimate rule. On every vehicle stop, always assume that there's some degree of risk, even with a vehicle that rolls through a stop sign.